Hi YouTubers. Today I just wanted to talk to you about something that I think should be in everybody's first aid kit. And some people might disagree with me, but let me just tell you why. And what it is A&D ointment. Not the cream, the ointment. I'm going to tell you why. Now it says on the back that it can be used for treating chapped skin and minor burns. Now minor burns are considered anything that's a first degree burn or a second degree burn that's less than 3 inches in diameter. Okay, so even second degree burns can be considered a minor burn. Now of course, if you have a burn like that, you're going to want to immerse it in cool water, whether that's running water or you can just stick it in a pot of cool water or whatever, but you're not going to want to use cold water or ice. And if there's a SHTF situation, you're probably not going to have ice anyway. So yeah, never ice. And then you're going to want to make sure it's clean and wrap it loosely in gauze and change it every day. Now after the first day, if it looks like it's starting to scab and it's starting to heal, you're still going to want to keep that gauze, change it every day and put that on it. But I want to highly suggest, people might say no, use Neosporin, use aloe vera. Well, some people are allergic to aloe vera, as I am, so I couldn't use aloe vera. And I've not had a lot of luck with Neosporin, to tell you the truth. But A&D ointment is a great thing to have. And the reason I know this for a fact, upside down, A&D ointment. The reason I know this is because when I was 3 years old, I was in a house fire. And I was severely burned. I had second degree burns on my face, on my shoulders, on my forearms, here where I had held my arms up to protect myself from the fire, and on my thighs because I was kneeling across the room from the fire. And I was in the hospital for 10 days, and they began putting this ointment on me by at least the third day. It may have been sooner than that, I don't know. And the reason that I know that it was, I keep holding it upside down, the reason I know that it was this is because, I was 3 years old. I didn't know what it was. I just knew it was my burn ointment. And when they sent me home from the hospital, they gave my mom a tube of this and told her to put it on my burns every day, twice a day, until they healed. And she did, religiously. It was my burn ointment. That was all I knew. It was my burn ointment. But it has a very particular smell. And I never smelled this ointment again for almost 20 years. Forgot all about it. Didn't know, didn't know what it was. Forgot all about it. And then when I was in the hospital, after I had had my first son, the nurse gave me a tube of this and told me to use it between breastfeedings to prevent chapping. And I guess any woman who's ever breastfed a child knows what I'm talking about. And so I, okay, sure. And I opened it up and I smelled it, and my mind went back immediately to when I was 3 years old. And I knew immediately that the ointment that they had put on me, that the hospital used on me, and that the hospital gave my mom and sent home for her to put on me, was A&D ointment. And I have had this in my first aid ever since. Used it for minor burns, scrapes, anything like that. Once the burn begins to scab over, I would suggest to anybody, have this in your first aid and apply it to the burn twice a day, because it will actually help the burn to heal and not leave a scar. As you notice, I don't have a scar on the side of my face, on either side. You can't really tell with this bad camera, but I was not scarred. I do have some minor scars on my shoulders, that you can see. Basically, it looks like really shiny skin, and then if I bend my arm up like that, you can see the little wrinkles. You probably can't in this video, so I'm not even going to show you. But other than those scars on my shoulders, the other scars were so unnoticeable. I was the only one who could see them. I thought they were noticeable, but that was because it was me, and I could stare into the mirror and go, oh, my face, you know. But they weren't really, nobody else noticed them but me. And I think it was due to the A&D ointment. So you can get this at Walmart, you can get it at your pharmacy. I just highly suggest that you have this in your bag, because scars, it's not only an aesthetic thing. It's not just, well, I don't want to have any scars. Scars can reduce your mobility if they're on a place where it bends a lot, like your elbow or your shoulder. And if you can get that scar as healed as you can get it, then you're not going to have cracking and bleeding every time you try to bend that joint. And it's really important to heal those scars for your mobility. So I would highly suggest having A&D ointment in your first aid, just in case, because you never know when you might have a really bad burn. So that's all for now. I do have another item that I want to do a video on that I also think is important to have in your first aid for things that you probably wouldn't even think about happening. So that's all for now. Oh, by the way, if you are interested in hearing how a 9-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 3-year-old burnt their house down, because yeah, we did it. We burnt the house down. Leave a comment below in the comments section, and I will make a video about how me and my brother and my sister burned their house down. Okay, see ya.